This meeting is being recorded.
So welcome to Imbolc or Candlemas or the beginning of our days getting longer. We're at the halfway point today between the Winter Solstice and the Spring Equinox. And our days are starting to tip towards getting longer, which is very exciting. I don't know about you, but I'm a little done with winter. So as we celebrate today in this time together, whether you're listening live or listening later, I encourage you to light a candle, to surround yourself with beautiful music or a plant that brings you joy and reminds you that there's alive, beautiful things in nature that are just getting ready to bloom in the next few months. And I also want to, whether you are open to sharing, that is totally up to you. If you just want to be here in contemplation mode, that is totally up to you as well. I will repeat the grounding foundational pillars of how I like to create community. And one of those is by dropping into gentleness for yourself mostly. This is a gift of time that we're giving ourselves. And secondly, to drop into inquiry and open-mindedness. And I wonder what beautiful nugget is going to be here today by joining this circle together. And third is patience. For someone who used to go a mile a minute or faster, I have been learning how to slow down. And thank you, pandemic, for teaching me a lot about that and how I had no control over a lot of things. But also how I've learned to slow down inside. And we're going to do a centering process in a minute that I hope will get us back into that space of syncing up with our body, mind, heart, and soul. And let's see, I said gentleness, patience, inquiry, and contemplation, which the art of contemplation is something that I continue to deepen into. And it's just pausing, taking moments throughout the day and looking at the sky or appreciating something of beauty or noticing your breath and thinking about how that connects us to the external and the internal. So many ways we could just pause. Sometimes even just tasting our coffee or tea, or I'm having some ceremonial cacao at the moment mixed with my coffee. It's the appreciation of the moment. And that's how I define contemplation. So let's begin with a centering and dropping into this moment, into this space and time, and allowing ourselves to arrive fully into our bodies. And by that, I mean really dropping from our headspace and all of the stuff going on in that busyness down through the feelings and the emotions that also might be going on simultaneously, down all the way into your belly, down into your feet. And when we do that, it automatically softens our shoulders and our neck and allows there to be a longer, slower breath. And just allowing that breath to lengthen, fill up our belly, and remind us that we are part of a sacred reciprocity. We are part of the breathing in to all that is, and then exhaling all that we are. And how are we showing up? So during this longer, slower breathing that you're doing now, imagine that you can go all the way in to this center of your lower belly, to the second chakra, if you want to call it that, or to your womb space, if you'd like to call it that. It's your creative power center. And in that space, imagine that you can see a flame or a crystal or a flower. But what we want to is imagine that there's something there that can grow and brighten. And as we breathe, we feed it oxygen. And as we exhale, it kind of dims a little, but it never goes out. So we want to strengthen this muscle of our unique light, fed by our connection to our grounding cords into the earth and our connection to whatever we consider higher consciousness or the universe or God, the divine. But what is uniquely us is that center, our light, which feeds our purpose, which feeds how we show up in the world, and which also feeds how we feel about ourselves and how our role is unique and needed in the planet. So imagine that you can nourish this flame or this light in a way that this ceremony and this moment forward allows you to tap into that strength of your unique light, your unique creative power, your voice. What is it that you're here to express in this lifetime, at this time? So, spending time here is a place that you can visit at any time. Grounding and centering, pausing, reflecting, contemplating, whatever you want to choose as your way of visiting this light, your truth. And as you breathe in and sense into this space, is there a message? Is there a picture? Is there a word? And it's no worries if there's nothing that you comprehend or know at this moment. But there might be. And this is such beautiful guidance. Sometimes it's just to trust that that light is there and it will never go out. So as you call forward your beautiful, unique way of showing up in the world, I'm asking for a new way that you can add to this. What would this day and this time in this connection that we have right here, right now, how will that feed you moving forward? And I'll give an example while you deepen into yours. For me, sharing this day, this celebration of light, was something that I was going to do all by myself anyway. However, there's something more, I don't know, beautiful, deep, wide when it's shared. And for me, there's grace. Every time I cry, I know there's truth there. So there's some tears here, but it's more about the joy of being in communion, of being in a community where I am safe to be myself and where I know that I am seen. And I would have loved for this to be a full room full of beautiful faces that I can share with. Yet I know that my voice will continue to go farther even after I close this Zoom call. If you feel that you would like to share your light, your words, a moment of what it is that you want to step more fully into in expressing yourself in 2023, I welcome that. And no pressure. It's totally up to you. So if you are, just unmute yourself and go ahead and share.
Hi there.
Hi.
So the word I came up with for myself is flexibility. That, could you hear flexibility?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Well, I think that when and of the four aspects that you mentioned that you're all about, patience was the one I chose for me. So I think it's when I'm not patient, I become rigid. I think that it must be one way, and I stay focused on the one way. So if I have the flexibility, it's almost like I can flow with what is and be open to where I go next. So that's why, for me, holding that ability to be flexible feels critical. And, it's something I truly want to hold in my belly and my wherever, in order for me to happily and joyfully move forward and be curious and not be afraid.
Wow.
So, I battle the fear. If I don't know, if I don't have a plan, it'll all break and I'll be terrible and I'll lose and so so staying flexible.
I love that. I think and constriction is one of my shadows that I'm playing with. And so when you said that, I thought, oh, yes. And we grew up with so many rules, didn't we? About things have to be done a certain way. So and I will be happy to support you in that flexibility.
Thank you.
So that's a big one. Oh.
Yeah.
So
I'll get in touch and we'll plan how that could look.
I would love that. And no pressure, but if you'd like to share, I'm not going to say your name on here so that when I post the audio, it's you're safe. Do you have anything that you'd like to share at this time? Okay. So please know that whatever you are calling forth in this time, it just feels like there's some new breath of fresh air. And believe me, it's not that warm out there, but I know that spring is coming. I trust that. I know that, just like I know that the sun will rise every morning. And there's something about this time. And today I felt it when I woke up, that things are shifting. I think we're moving through such a fast change. I mean, we're heading into this, well, we've been in the great change for a long time, but according to much of what I've been reading and listening, 2027 is a pivotal big moment for humanity. So it's just a few years away. And I can feel that there's many of us that are stepping into, what's my role? How do I hold the peace, the solace, how do I remember to love when it gets difficult? How do I remember to keep moving forward when I feel like I'm stuck? All of that. And there's a big trust thing that I'm playing with personally. So knowing that there's a lot more going on than we can see, kind of like the plants outside. We can't see what's going to be blooming, but in a few months, we're going to have daffodils and tulips, and how fun. So it's definitely a moment of trust. And sharing our light is just one of the best ways in the world. So I want to thank you all for showing and being here and taking time out of your busy days to drop in and give this gift of light to yourself and to me and to each other here in this space. So, deep bow of gratitude to everyone, and enjoy the rest of your light-filled day.
Thank you.
So welcome.